Tens of thousands of Americans are parking their used SUVs in their garages tonight. What they don't know is that the federal government has already ordered those exact vehicles out of garages because they can catch fire while the engine is off, while they're charging, or while they're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Not driver error, not a freak accident. It's a defect, just a factory defect that the automakers knew about long before they told anyone. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, is currently tracking over 1 million vehicles under active Do Not Park Indoors orders. At least 36 confirmed fires, at least 7 people hospitalized, and some of these vehicles caught fire again after the recall repair was already done. Today I'm cutting straight to it. 8 used SUV models that made the federal blacklist. The used SUV you just bought, or the one you're about to buy, might be sitting on this list right now. So before you pull into that garage tonight, you need to watch this. Look, this isn't some obscure technical bulletin that only mechanics care about. This is an official federal order. NHTSA doesn't issue Do Not Park Indoors warnings lightly, unless the fire risk is real and documented in these cases. These aren't rumors circulating on car forums. These are confirmed fires, confirmed injuries, and confirmed failures indeed, on vehicles that millions of Americans bought used and reliable, thinking they were getting a solid deal. 8 models made the list today. All of them are used SUVs that are actively changing hands on dealership lots and private sales right now. And number 1 on this list carries not 1 but 2 completely separate fire risks detected. This risk is present in the same vehicle you drive. Stay with me, because any one of these risks could be sitting in your driveway tonight. The vehicle at number 8 is the Hyundai Tucson, 2019 to 2021. Here's where it starts for this model. Hyundai recalled over 52,000 Tucson SUVs after confirming that the electronic oil pump controller can overheat even when the vehicle is completely turned off. 4 incidents of heat damage were reported before Hyundai even issued the urgent warning to all owners. They had no idea they were buying a vehicle SUV. Is that this defect doesn't announce itself. No warning light, no smell, no sound. This is critical. The pump just overheats, and if conditions are right, it ignites suddenly. Now think about the used car buyer who picked up a 2020 Tucson at a good price indeed, thinking they scored a reliable family hauler for their daily needs. They had no idea they were buying a vehicle SUV. The government said shouldn't be parked inside a structure ever. How many used car dealers disclose this information at the point of sale? Based on what owners are reporting, not many. NHTSA's instruction was clear. Park outside, away from buildings, until the oil pump assembly is replaced. If you're looking at a used Tucson from these years, be very careful. Demand the repair documentation before you hand over a single dollar. Number 7. Kia Sorento, 2021 to 2022. Same defect family, different badge. Kia recalled nearly 40,000 vehicles in total, after discovering that the idle stop-and-go system's capacitor can overheat, short-circuit, and start a fire. Kia had already documented 6 separate incidents of melting components before pulling the trigger on the recall. What makes this worse? For used buyers is the production window. The defect affected vehicles built between October 2022 and June 2023. 8 straight months of production rolling out of the factory with this problem baked in. 8 months. That means quality control missed. This completely for the better part of a year. How does that happen on a vehicle people are paying $35,000 to $40,000 for? Kia's answer to owners was simple. Park outside until dealers replace the oil pump assembly. Some owners waited 2 to 3 months just for parts to arrive. If you're shopping, when looking for a used Sorento from this generation, run the VIN first. Don't assume the repair was done just because the seller says so. Number 6. Ford Explorer, 2020 to 2022. The Explorer is one of the best-selling SUVs in America. It's also on this list. Ford issued a major recall. Ford issued a recall covering a significant number of Explorers after discovering a wiring harness defect in the Ford Explorer that can cause electrical shorts leading to fire, including while the vehicle is parked in a driveway and the engine is off, yet the risk still remains. The problem traces back to a section of wiring in the car that can chafe against a metal edge over time, wearing through the insulation until bare wire contacts bare metal. At that point, you've got a short circuit, with nowhere for that heat to go, except somewhere it shouldn't, like a critical component. What makes this dangerous for used buyers specifically is time. The longer the vehicle has been on the road, the more wear occurs, the more opportunity that wiring has had to wear down. A 3-year-old Explorer with 60,000 miles has had 3 years for that chafing to happen in the vehicle. NHTSA's guidance was to get the vehicle inspected and repaired immediately by a professional mechanic. If you're buying used, ask the seller directly whether this recall was completed on the vehicle. Get it in writing to ensure your vehicle is safe. Number 5. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, 2022 to 2023. Now we're moving into plug-in hybrid territory, and this is where the numbers get uncomfortable. Stellantis confirmed a recall affecting over 91,000 Grand Cherokee 4xe models due to a high-voltage battery defect, the same Samsung-supplied battery causing problems across the Jeep lineup. 19 total fires reported across affected models. Investigators traced the fires to damaged cell separators inside the high-voltage battery pack. Here's the part that should stop every used buyer cold. Stellantis acknowledged that software-based fixes issued in 2023 and 2024 were not fully effective. 9 fires occurred in vehicles that had already been through a recall repair. So you could buy a used Grand Cherokee 4xe, find out it was already serviced under the recall, and still be driving a vehicle with an unresolved fire risk. Owners were told not to charge the vehicle and to park outside away from structures. That means a plug-in hybrid you paid $65,000 to $75,000 for is now a gasoline-only SUV sitting in a parking lot. Class action lawsuits have already been filed. No firm repair timeline has been announced. Number 4. Chevrolet Bolt EUV, 2022. The Chevrolet Bolt EUV is a newer, slightly larger model. The Bolt EUV, and it carries the same catastrophic battery problem. This catastrophic battery problem that made GM recall every single Bolt produced between the years of 2017 and 2022. About 142,000 vehicles total were recalled, at a cost of roughly $1.8 billion. NHTSA confirmed at least 12 battery fires in parked vehicles. Some of them happened after the car had been sitting untouched for days in a suburban driveway. The defect comes down to 2 rare manufacturing flaws occurring in the battery. These rare manufacturing flaws occurring in the same battery cell. The same battery cell, it's the exact same cell. Torn anode tabs and folded separators in the battery cell. 2 rare manufacturing defects hitting the same battery cell, occurring at the exact same time in the same cell. The odds are low, but when it happens, the result is a fire that you don't see coming. A fire that you don't see coming until it's too late. GM's instructions to owners were unusually strict. Park outside, don't charge overnight, and keep back. Don't charge overnight and limit your charging to 90%, and keep the vehicle at least 50 feet away from others, away from structures or other cars in the vicinity. Parking facilities in Nashville and Charleston, South Carolina, San Francisco and Seattle temporarily restricted these cars. Temporarily banned Chevrolet Bolts altogether in their parking facilities. For used buyers, battery replacement documentation isn't optional for any buyer today. Without it, you're rolling the dice on your safety. Number 3. BMW X3 and X5, 2019 to 2022. German engineering, American recall. BMW issued a recall covering nearly 200,000 vehicles, including the X3, X5, and several other models, after discovering that a Denso-supplied starter motor relay corrodes when exposed to water during normal operation. That corrosion leads to electrical shorts, overheating, and fires, while driving, while parked. While the ignition is completely off, BMW estimated only 0.1% of vehicles were actually affected. But here's the problem. They couldn't identify which specific vehicles had the defective relay, so they recalled all 196,355 of them, every single one. NHTSA issued an urgent park outside advisory, while dealers prepared redesigned replacement units. For used buyers shopping a pre-owned X3 or X5 from these years, the relay replacement needs to be verified before purchase. A premium German SUV carrying a fire risk because of a corroded relay is not the deal. It appears to be on the surface. Number 2. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, 2017 to 2021. This one is different from everything else on this list, and not in a good way. It is a serious situation. Chrysler has recalled these plug-in hybrid minivans. Chrysler has recalled these minivans 3 separate times, in 2020 and 2022, and again in 2024. All 3 recalls were for the exact same defect. And after the 2022 repair campaign, 7 additional fires were reported in these vehicles. In vehicles that had already been fixed. Ineffective repair. Let that sink in. The risk remains high. The fix did not fix it. Stellantis engineers admitted. Stellantis engineers later admitted the failure, that the earlier software-based remedy was ineffective. The root cause of the fire was identified. A folded or torn anode tab inside battery cells, combined with a second contributing factor, a factor that has never been fully identified. NHTSA's own documentation states the facts. The root cause has not been completely resolved. 19,516 vehicles were affected. 4 people hospitalized for smoke inhalation, serious injuries. Fires occurring while vehicles were turned off. And during charging, it is a dangerous situation. A ferry service operating across Lake Michigan banned these minivans from boarding entirely. A serious restriction. For used buyers, this is a very complicated situation. This is the most complicated situation on this list. Even a vehicle with completed recall paperwork may still carry unresolved risk. No clean answer. There is no clean answer here yet. The investigation continues. Number 1. Jeep Wrangler 4xe, 2023 to 2025. Here it is. The reason number 1 exists on a completely different level than everything else you just heard. The Jeep Wrangler 4xe has 2 completely separate fire risks on the same vehicle. 2 independent problems, 2 separate reasons NHTSA says park it outside. First, the battery. The same Samsung SDI battery separator damage issue, affecting the Grand Cherokee 4xe. Over 228,000 Wrangler 4xe models recalled. The third recall for this exact defect. Previous fixes in 2023 and 2024 failed. 9 fires occurred in vehicles that had already been repaired under the 2024 recall. Owners were told to stop charging entirely and park away from structures. Second, the engine. Consumer Reports documented 36 fires and 3 injuries linked to catastrophic engine failures that have nothing to do with the battery. The engines themselves are catching fire. Investigators traced this to a manufacturing failure. Engine blocks that were not properly cleaned after casting, leaving sand and debris trapped inside. That contamination restricts oil flow, damages internal components, triggers engine failure, and in some cases ignites a fire. Some owners reported warning signs like knocking noises or a check engine light. Others experienced fires with 0 warning at highway speed. So you're looking at a used Wrangler 4xe and thinking it's been recalled and repaired. Maybe it has, but which recall? The battery one? The engine one? Both? Neither? This is a vehicle where a used buyer has to verify 2 completely separate repair histories, just to know whether it's safe to bring home. $60,000 plus for a vehicle with 2 active fire risks and a repair timeline that is still undefined. Alright, here's exactly what you do. If you own one of these vehicles, or you're thinking about buying one, first, go to nhtsa.gov/recalls. First, go to the website and enter your VIN. It only takes about 30 seconds. And it tells you everything. Second, do not take the seller's word for it. Be sure to ask for the actual repair order showing that all recall work was completed. From the dealership showing the recall work was completed. Physical documentation, not a verbal confirmation. Third, follow the parking warnings until you have confirmed the repair is done. Until you have confirmed the repair is done. Yes, it's inconvenient. Park outside anyway. Fourth, document everything, every notice, every repair order, every email. If this turns into a legal situation, you'll need that paper trail. Fifth, call your insurance company and confirm your coverage. Includes fire damage from a manufacturer defect. Some policies have gaps that will surprise you at the worst possible moment. The used car market moves fast and dealers are not required to disclose open recalls in every state. That means the burden falls on you to check. So check. Open recalls in every state. That means the burden falls on you to check. If you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe. We cover the secrets that dealers hope you don't find out until after you've signed. We cover the stuff dealers hope you don't find out, and drop your experience in the comments below if you've dealt with any of these recalls. We read everyone. Stay safe out there. We read every single comment you leave.